From humble beginnings, Coleman Trebor faithfully climbed the ranks of the Jedi Order to become a member of the High Council. Such dedication and fortitude won him widespread respect. However, despite all of his accolades, Trebor's legacy was forever tainted by one heroic, yet foolish decision. Welcome to the Kankazan Star Wars Lore Episode 171, The Life of Coleman Trebor. During the waning years of the Galactic Republic, on the backwater world of Sembla, Coleman Trebor was born with an affinity for the Force. This was quickly realised by the Jedi Order, who rushed him to their temple on Coruscant to begin training. Trebor naturally ascended the Jedi ranks to become a knight and then a master, making him the only Virk to attain such during the Republic Classic era. In his respected role, Coleman often became the voice of reason in planetary disputes, and while his skills with a lightsaber were not to be ignored, the diplomat preferred to resolve matters through negotiation, not violence. Trebor essentially became the model Jedi, an example of how Jedi should behave. He was respected by all as a result, even if his surge to fame was rather odd considering his humble beginnings. With all of that said, Coleman became the ideal candidate to replace Yariel Poof on the Jedi High Council, following the Quarmain's untimely demise in 27 BBY. The promotion, of course, came with heightened responsibilities for Trebor. Moreover, it cemented him as the official spokesman for the Council, whether it be for social events, communicating with other species, or addressing the media. Trebor's appointment to the Council came during a turbulent period in galactic history, the Separatist Crisis to be exact, which was brought about by Count Dooku, the formation of the CIS, and the many star systems that seceded from the Republic. Such tension boiled over midway through 23 BBY, when a Separatist-aligned faction emerged on Antar 4. The so-called Roshu Sun infiltrated the moon's many outbuildings to slay dozens of Antarian Rangers. But the Jedi Order were quick to react. More specifically, Trebor, CC-10 and their battalion of Jedi Knights were all too eager to relieve the situation. Unfortunately, the first assault was a disaster, resulting in massive casualties on both sides. The second push, however, saw far more success. To achieve such, Trebor and Tin used electromagnetic pulses that was enough to overwhelm their enemies' sensitive head cones, and so the conflict was concluded without any more bloodshed. There was only one problem. The local populace believed the Jedi tactics to be sloppy and dangerous. Their triumphant return to Coruscant was dampened as a result. What's more, the Roshu soon continued to carry out terrorist attacks in Dooku's name. With each passing second, the Separatist crisis grew more and more. It was a toxic movement that would only lead to war if not dealt with sooner rather than later. This was fully realised by Trebor, who sought to end Count Dooku's reign if given half the chance. And during the rescue attempt of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala, Coleman saw the perfect opportunity, breaking away from the swarm of Jedi who had infiltrated the execution arena of Geonosis, and despite the Count's superior lightsaber skills, Trebor leapt to Dooku's side. Unfortunately, a grand showcase of skill was quickly thwarted as bounty hunter Jango Fett emerged from the shadows to gun down the Virk Jedi Master. Coleman tried his best to deflect the sudden outburst of blaster fire, but he failed to prevent two clinical shots from piercing his shoulder and abdomen respectively. He then fell backwards off the nearby balcony edge to land hard on the cold desert floor below. Trebor was killed instantly. For all of his accomplishments and feats, Trebor was remembered as the one who failed to strike down Dooku when he had the chance, the one who failed to prevent the outbreak of the Clone Wars. Now it's time for this week's question. Given the fact there were so many, and that most of them weren't fleshed out all that well, do you wish there were less Jedi in the Star Wars prequels? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to vote for next week's episode by participating in the card poll on screen now. Also, to have your say in future lore videos, head on over to thecharactersans.com and get voting. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like. And if you haven't already, press the subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the CLXXI.